this episode of the F1 Chat, the F1 Report, the F2 Report, Gabriel Bortoletto, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Sergio Perez, and the F1 movie trailer. All that and more on the F1 Chat.
Driven 2 looks pretty fantastic, I'm not going to lie.
Hello out there in Internetland. This is episode 13 of the 2024 season of the F1 Chat. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Seated to my left is a man who, he knows what it's like to have a team do bad strategy calls. He must be a Ferrari supporter. No, he's not. He's a McLaren supporter. It's JB. JB, how are you, my friend?
Bad strategy calls. Where would you like to start with this one? I've got a multitude of teams.
I didn't know your logo was a prancing horse.
I mean, it could be an eel. It could be a falcon.
Could be a maroon jersey.
It could be a maroon jersey. It could be the papaya. You want to talk?
You want to talk? Prancing horse.
You want to talk bad strategy calls, mate? My sporting history is littered with them. So this was just another cherry on the cake of disappointment. That is.
It's another Daily Cherry Evans on top of the cake.
Oh, mate. It's 2024. Where is the hope right now? Where is the hope right now?
You know what's really funny is I think Latrell Mitchell got injured during the match, beating Parramatta. You're like, how do you get injured while you're beating Parramatta?
Well, I didn't think we put up... Well, at least we put up a fight with something, because they haven't put up much of a fight of anything lately.
But you've got a new coach now.
Oh, next year?
Yeah, next year.
Yes. Don't worry, things will change.
Could be worse.
I've only been saying that for 34 years. Things are going to get better.
I've been saying that since 2007.
It's been a while.
Hey, I mean, things could be worse. I watched that friggin' Ballistics X vs. 7 movie.
Oh, God. Speaking of, if I want 2 hours of torture, I'll just watch the next Eels game, but you've just gone out and found it on your own.
It's not enough I'm a Ferrari supporter.
No.
Oh, God. Right. So, we watched Silverstone.
Yes. Good race.
It was a good race.
Thank you to the elements, but yeah, that was a good race. That was a good Grand Prix.
Yes. And you might notice there is no Longhorn this week. He's on assignment.
Yeah, he's doing night shift, the poor bastard. So when you listen back to it, mate, I'm thinking of you, because by the time you listen back to it, I'll be on night shift. So solidarity, brother. Embrace the suck, as you say, and I'll see you soon, but at different mine sites. I'll be there. I'll be there with you in spirit, and then there in reality.
So there was an F2 race this week. So I'm going to do my best to fill in. I'm not going to go in depth as Longhorn. I don't want to steal his gimmick infringement. Yeah, that's leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yes, it is. Funnily enough,
gimmick infringement. So there was the F2 sprint race. It was very, very wet.
It was extremely wet.
It was slightly moist.
Yeah.
But
very, very British.
But we unearthed a diamond in the rough.
Oh, I knew he was there, but I'm very happy to unearth him properly now.
Gabriel Bortoletto,
the McLaren Academy driver.
This guy, like as you said, he needed another cockpit in that car for his balls.
He needed a second cockpit for his cockpit, because holy, I'm pretty sure there's a center S on the top of his helmet. My God, does he do it justice?
Yeah, he's certainly a lot better than Bruno.
Holy.
From now on, his name is Gabriel Senna.
Big Balls Bortoletto.
To steal a line from Roadhouse, he has balls big enough to come in a dump truck.
That kid.
I mean...
Like, there's Fearless. There's, like, Stupid Fearless. I don't know where. There's Fearless and Stupid. And my God, was he towing the line in that sprint race.
Or to quote The Undertaker, there's two types of people in this world. There's the talker tough, the crazy brave. He is the crazy fucking brave.
Oh, man, he is like... He's what I thought Kimi Antonelli was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Man, I'm keen to see him come up in Papaya when he's ready. I hope they can keep him under contract because the kid's fearless.
Oh, Jesus. Haven't seen anything like that since Senna.
Nah, Max Verstappen.
Max
Remember that
Verstappen,
Brazil race?
Yeah.
Brazil 2016 in the rain. His like rookie year at Red Bull.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That's what that reminded me of.
Or I think it was Brazil 2019 where he did the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he tagged...
he was winning the race and then got taken out by... Was it Ocon?
Yeah, Ocon.
Yeah.
Because he shoved him after the race.
Yeah, I would have done more than just shove him.
Knocked him out cold.
I would have done that PK kick. Maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, you got to aim a little bit higher to hit Ocon's balls because he don't got none.
Exactly.
But after the sprint race, Kimi Antonelli came first.
I did just rag on Kimi Antonelli, but he did win the sprint race.
He did win the sprint race.
He's finally won one.
Zane Maloney came second. And even though he was beaten by Kushmaini, is his teammate, Kushmaini completed the move off the track, so he got a penalty. And Bortoletto got third place.
He did.
So we get to the feature race, and Bortoletto was still celebrating because on the formation lap he lost it.
He did a 360.
No, he didn't do a 360. He the back end kicked out, and he went 90 degrees, and then he pulled it back.
Yeah, so he had 4 flat spots to start the race.
No,
Well
he was just heating up his tyres.
Yeah, he was ready for another crack.
Yeah. And then at the end of the first lap, Kimi Antonelli's car conked out.
Well, no, he was tagged and he spun.
Yeah, I think.
Stalled.
Yeah.
So, 0 to 0 real quick in Formula 2.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't have it where it counts. Lap 10, Jack Crawford got done for unsafe release in the pits.
Yep.
That was scary. That was fucking scary.
And Silverstone's got a narrow pit lane.
Yeah.
Like that concrete wall that runs along it, like that is probably the narrowest pit lane in Formula 1. There's not a lot of turning room.
Yeah. And it goes under the bridge as well.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Then at the end of lap 29,
Isaac Hadjar
came first.
He did cross the line second to Zach Crawford, but Zach Crawford got the penalty.
5-second penalty for the
unsafe release, which cost him the win.
Zane Maloney came second, and Jack Crawford came third. And in the championship standings, so we got Isaac Hadjar is winning the championship 133 points. Paul Aaron, who had a really bad weekend, he was not in a happy place this weekend. He's second in the championship with 117 points.
Yeah, he's lost the championship lead now.
Zane Maloney on 101 points. Fourth place is our boy Gabriel Senna Bortoletto on 98 points. Franco Colapinto is on 92 points. Jack Crawford is on 84 points. Dennis Hauger is on 66 points. In 8th place is Kimi Antonelli with 59 points. Kush Miney is in 9th with 58 points. And Enzo Fittipaldi rounds out the top 10 with 48 points. And I hope you're proud of that report, Longhorn.
I think we did pretty well.
Right. So, I'm not actually going to tag this on the YouTube video when I say this, but the following F1 race report is brought to you by Australia Post fucking me about the last couple of days. Thank you, Australia Post. And it's over to JB for the F1 report.
Yes. 2024 Qatar Airlines British Grand Prix from the Silverstone circuit. It's the second race in a row that's been sponsored by Qatar Airlines.
Yeah, but it's not the first sponsored by Australia Post fucking me about.
No, plenty of those stories. I used to work for them. Don't worry about that.
Oh, good.
I was part of the problem once. Lap 1. George Russell starts on pole position alongside Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton. And Lando Norris was in third. The first time ever at the British Grand Prix that 3 British drivers have started the race. 1, 2, 3.
If only we could do that at the Australian F1 and have 3 Australian drivers. Or at least 2 Aussies and a Kiwi.
Well, we could. Oscar Piastri, Daniel Ricciardo, and if Jack Doohan wants to step up.
Or Liam Lawson.
He's a Kiwi, though.
Yeah, but it's all right.
The only Kiwi that counts as an Aussie to me is Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah, but Liam Lawson, I mean, you know.
And Russell Crowe.
Fighting around the world.
Actually, there's a lot of Kiwis that count as Aussies, don't worry.
Actually, Sam Neill.
Oh, yeah, Sam Neill.
Yeah. Did you know he was very nearly James Bond?
I could see it.
He actually did the screen test and everything.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. Because it came down to him and Pierce Brosnan.
He's a dashing man.
And this was in 87.
So he would have been even younger and even better looking.
Yeah, but he didn't get it. Brosnan got it, but then he had to do a TV show, so they had to push the movie back, and which meant Dalton was available, and they got Dalton.
There you go. Anyway, race report. Race report. We're all over the shop.
Yeah, it's good.
So George Russell starts on pole position alongside Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton, and Lando Norris is behind them. Pierre Gasly pulls into the pit lane on the formation lap with a gearbox issue in his Alpine, retiring from the race before it even starts.
Why does that not surprise me?
It's an Alpine.
Yeah.
George Russell gets the whole shot as he covers off Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen passes Lando Norris on the outside of turn 2 for third. Alex Albon and Fernando Alonso make contact after Nico Hülkenberg rejoins the track. Lap 14, Charles Leclerc passes Lance Stroll for 7th. Lap 15, Lando Norris passes Max Verstappen for 3rd. Lap 17, Oscar Piastri passes Max Verstappen for 4th. Into Stowe, slipping as the rain begins to fall, but holds position. Lap 18, Lewis Hamilton passes George Russell for the lead of the Grand Prix into Stowe. Lap 19, both Mercedes and Oscar Piastri slip off the track at turn 2 as the rain gets heavier. Lando Norris passes George Russell for 2nd as he takes advantage of the situation. Lap 20, Lando Norris passes Lewis Hamilton for the lead of the Grand Prix as Oscar Piastri passes George Russell for 3rd. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc pits for intermediates. Oscar Piastri passes Lewis Hamilton for 2nd. Lap 25, Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez are lapped after staying out on intermediate tyres on a mostly dry circuit. Lap 27, Max Verstappen pits for intermediates. Lap 28, Lando Norris pits along with both Mercedes for intermediate tyres as the track begins to get properly wet. Lap 29, Oscar Piastri pits for intermediates. Lap 34, George Russell is told to retire his Mercedes from the Grand Prix with a water and coolant system issue after starting on pole position. Kevin Magnussen has a monster moment near the pit entry, but he saves it to keep his Haas in 6th. Lap 38, Kevin Magnussen and Daniel Ricciardo decide to roll the dice on soft tyres on a still wet track. Lap 39, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen pit for hard tyres. Oscar Piastri pits for brand new mediums. Lap 40, Lando Norris pits for used soft tyres, but a slow pit stop sees him lose the lead of the Grand Prix to Lewis Hamilton. Lap 48, Max Verstappen breezes past Lando Norris for 2nd place as the McLaren's soft tyres give up the ghost. Lap 52, Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix from Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Carlos Sainz gets fastest lap. Lewis Hamilton gets driver of the day.
4th place was Oscar Piastri in the other McLaren. 5th place was Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. 6th place was Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas. 7th place was Lance Stroll in Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin? What? 8th place was Fernando Alonso in the other Aston Martin. 9th place was Alex Albon in the Williams. And 10th place was Yuki Tsunoda in the Racing Bull. So let's talk about Lewis Hamilton.
Good on him.
Oh, you know what?
I'm not mad.
I will give him kudos, actually. He drove a really smart, sensible race. It actually looked like the Hamilton of old.
That was vintage Lewis Hamilton.
And
the strategy calls were right. Mercedes got the strategy calls right.
And he did what he had to keep it on the track, keep it in between the rumble strips.
And he held off Max.
Yeah.
And Lando beat himself, obviously. We'll get to that. But
yeah.
I'm not upset that he won that race.
Yeah.
It was well-deserved and well-earned.
And he was really emotional.
It meant a lot to him.
It meant a lot to him. It was the first race since, 2021?
Saudi Arabia 2021. It's been 945 days and 52 races, I think Crofty said.
And he even acknowledged that might actually be his last win in Mercedes colours.
It's definitely his last British Grand Prix win in Mercedes colours.
Yeah, so good on him, and he drove a really solid race. And I can't fault him.
I can't fault him at all. It was a great drive.
Yeah, and he got driver of the day.
Yep.
Well deserved. Yeah.
Unlucky for George Russell, because he would have been up there too. The Mercedes were quick.
Yep. So, yeah, that's that. My key drivers, got to go to Lando Norris.
Yeah. I mean, he did everything he could.
Yeah, I mean, he went with the same tyres that Lewis Hamilton went on at the end, the softs.
It wasn't the right call.
Wasn't the right call, but, he was trying to cover off Lewis, but didn't count on Max.
Yeah, well, look, I don't know why you leave a brand new set of tyres sitting there.
Yeah.
Max took hards. The hards weren't the go, but, It
was probably the only fresh set of tyres that he had.
He had a fresh set of mediums sitting there that Oscar took.
Know what I mean? Max only had the
Max
hards left.
had this. Exactly. That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Brand new tyres. It doesn't matter what compound they are. At that point, fucking take them.
Yeah.
Why would you put a used set of softs on instead of a brand new set of mediums? Yeah, it's Lando has pretty much admitted that he was the one that made that call.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it's like Longhorn said last episode. He just has moments of where he just shits the bed and does something ridiculous. And this was it again.
This was Sochi 2021.
Yeah.
Just the wrong call. The wrong call when the right call was there to be made.
Yeah.
Cost you another race win.
But, I mean, he got third.
At least he got points this week.
Yeah, he got points.
Yep.
My next one is Oscar Piastri. Sensible
he was
race.
coming. Yeah.
Sensible race. He was in there. He was in the pocket for pretty much all the race.
And he sacrificed himself. He took that extra lap when the rain came down to stay out there, and it cost him. I think he was down to about 13th or 14th at one point.
Yeah.
And then he put those fresh set of mediums on around about the same time Lando should have, and he went from like 13th to 4th.
Yeah.
He was the fastest car on track for most of that last stint, so did what he could.
My next driver is Max Verstappen.
Yep.
He drove a sensible race, and he got second place on the grid out of just sheer determination, because
that Red Bull looks very mortal now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Very mortal.
Yeah.
The same car that was winning races by 30 seconds at the start of the year is now probably the third fastest car on the grid.
Or I'd say at least the second.
Yeah. Yeah. Max was driving on talent more than car ability today. No doubt about that.
My next key driver is George Russell. I think he did well until that.
He was unlucky because he was going to be on the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think he would have won it. He
was driving very well.
But, I mean, he was driving in a car that was slowly dying on him.
Yes.
Because he noticed after the first pit stop, something was clearly not right. He didn't have the power.
Yeah.
And I think it was a water pump.
Yeah, it was the water system.
Yeah.
Wasn't pumping the water and wasn't keeping the car cool.
My next key driver, and he's making this list a lot, is Nico Hülkenberg. Just getting points.
He's just putting the Haas in the top 10.
That Haas is punching well above its weight.
Yeah.
And we wrote the Haas off. We were like, it's going to be the biggest shitbox of the year.
No.
And it's not.
No. Hülkenberg is making statements.
Yeah, he's punching checks, man.
Before he goes to Audi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, just showing them what they've got. We doubt why we've said it. Why would you take Hülkenberg? He's a safe pair of hands, and that's it.
Yeah.
And here he is, back-to-back sixth-place finishes.
And he's making K-Mag look kind of crap.
Yeah.
In the process.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah. My final one is Alex Albon.
Finally got some points for Williams.
Points on the board.
Yeah, after contact with Alonso on the first lap that damaged his front wing. Came back and got points. Good drive.
And even Logan Sargent's like there's bits of bodywork coming off his car because he was right behind him. And he held off Sargent. Hell, I mean, we could put Sargent on the list because he got the car home.
He finished the race again.
That's 3 in a row.
Not going to save his seat, but good on him.
Well done. Well, the thing about Logan Sargent is they're talking about he's getting offers to go to IndyCar next year.
He'd be good in IndyCar.
What, because they're really good at crashing?
They're really good at not following track limits. They're really good at, bumping, terrible pit strategies, Yeah. I watched the Mid-Ohio race today. It was actually a little bit boring, but at least a McLaren won. Thanks, Pato.
Yeah, but does Pato Award have the balls of Bortoletto?
You know what? Yeah, sometimes he does.
Okay.
Sometimes he does. I don't think he's a Bortoletto. I don't think he's quite there for he balls, but he's got talent, the kid.
I love one comment they were talking about on the YouTube for Bortoletto versus was it Kush Miney?
Yeah, Miney. Teammates.
And they're like, yeah, it's like Senna versus Prost.
It really was. It really was. They were scrapping hard, those Invicta boys.
So, well, good, well done to those boys. The helmet driver, as I've put the photo of the PK kick.
The PK kick.
Right, the helmet drivers. First one in the category, Charles Leclerc. He just had a shocker weekend.
I don't think he was held. I don't know why he put intermediate. I mean, the track was getting wet at the time, but him and Sergio Perez stopped for intermediates together. And then 6 laps later, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton are lapping them. Like, it was a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
When you're down battling with a guy that started from the pit lane, you know you're fucked up. Yeah. And this is a couple races in a row now where it's been like that.
My next guy on the list is Zhou Guan Yu. He just had an absolute shocker. Like, he's just not. He no compute.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's been in no man's land for a bit.
Yeah, I think he's past his use by date. But the new helmet driver alumni, Sergio Perez.
He started from the pit lane, but I think he still only finished 14th or something.
He might as well have stayed in the friggin' pit lane.
Yeah, to be fair.
Like, okay, I can understand Charles Leclerc was in the Ferrari. The Ferrari is not looking good at the moment.
Charles was only down there because of a bad pit strategy.
But Perez is just not kicking goals at all.
No. Even starting from the pit lane. Like, the Red Bull, yeah, okay, it's been caught now, but surely you push to the top 10 in that thing.
Yeah.
Like, surely you can make the top 10 even from the pit lane in that car.
When you've got your teammate who's the current world champion leading the championship by a few points now, and he's consistently getting points, most of the time consistently getting podiums.
You don't have to have your head around the car. Like, it doesn't even have to suit you to the ground. And we know it doesn't. But it's fast enough to be better than what you're showing.
Yeah.
The car is not as bad as you make it look. Like, you make it look real fucking difficult.
Yeah. Like, he's just handing himself yellow cards.
I don't know. I don't know what his problem is. His job's safe for another year because they re-signed him. So is he just being a fucking test pilot now? He's driving like a test driver.
Yeah.
He's just collecting data for Max.
You know what? You remember in the year 1999, the year of our Lord 1999.
It was a great year for Formula One.
It was. And Michael Schumacher broke his leg.
Yes.
At Silverstone.
Yes.
And so they brought Mika Salo in to replace him. And Mika Salo just shit the bed
Yeah. He was the reserve driver, though.
That's what Perez is driving like. Mika
He's
Salo.
driving like a reserve driver.
Yeah.
He's driving like a part-timer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Red Bull can't be happy with him.
Well, we'll get to that in a sec. But who do you think the helmet driver of the week is? I'm going for Perez.
Well, it's got to be Perez based on performance.
Yeah, because he's just not getting any better. And honestly, he needs a PK kick to the ball sack at this point.
And I'll give a secondary award to whoever the fuck made the call at McLaren, be it Lando or the pit crew.
I mean, I was going to put a fourth person being Australia Post, but...
Well, look, they can kick goals together, mate.
Yeah.
Bad strategy call. Yeah, whoever the fuck it was that didn't take the fresh set of mediums at the end of that race, that Lando could have won. This could be Lando celebrating.
Driving around with a British flag.
Yeah, it could have been you, mate, but yeah, it's a couple of weekends in a row now where the fastest driver maybe hasn't won the race.
So we're going to give it to Perez?
Yeah.
Yeah, before we get into the news, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. So we've seen that the Red Bull is mortal. It's not the immortal killing machine sent from the future to wipe out Sarah Connor and John Connor. The McLaren seems to be on keel with that Red Bull. The Mercedes has stepped up. My God, has that Ferrari dropped off, though?
Yeah.
Like, they put upgrades on it. It seems to have gone backwards.
It's gotten slower. They've done an Aston... Remember when Aston Martin last year?
Yeah.
They put the upgrades on and it went to shit, so they took the upgrades back off and it went good again?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time Ferrari did the same thing.
And then add to that, like, Aston Martin has gone even more backwards.
Aston Martin have gone way backwards.
When you've got fucking Hulkenberg getting in the top 10 more than the Aston Martin drivers combined.
That was the second fastest car on the grid last year.
Yeah.
Until the McLaren became the second fastest car on the grid.
Yeah.
And now maybe ultimately the fastest car on the grid.
Yeah.
Not that it's translating into fucking race wins.
I mean, we can all agree that the Sauber is an absolute shitbox. And that's what I don't get about Sauber. They've got the best wind tunnel facilities on the grid, and yet seemingly they cannot make a car that goes brum brum in a straight line.
They're waiting for the Audi takeover. They've got to be. I reckon everything's on hold. Development, everything. They're just playing the waiting game.
Yeah.
They've rolled out the fucking last year's car and just fucking whatever.
Slapped a black and green paint job
Yeah,
on it.
slapped the new paint job on last year's chassis and sent it out there, I reckon, because that team just seems like they're in a holding pattern until Audi take over.
Yeah. I mean, Williams is getting slightly better.
Yeah, the RB's scoring points too, the V-Carb. All the bottom teams are starting to score points a little bit now, except the Sauber.
It's just, yeah.
I mean, such is Formula One.
Yeah, that's right. But, not every team wants to be life.
Oh, look, well, I mean, yeah, but we're saying this now. They're about to be taken over by the second biggest German manufacturer.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, I mean, Volkswagen's Volkswagen's the biggest, but...
And we are...
But Audi, look at their Le Mans project. They were unbeatable for a long time at Le Mans in hypercar. Like, we say that Sauber's shit now, but once that 4-ring logo's on it, they'll be up there with Ferrari and Mercedes and Aston. And
Well, I hope that it's the same impact that BMW had at Williams.
God, I wish BMW would come back.
Oh, yeah.
Only if we bring back V10 engines, though.
Well, if it all goes to plan, 2030, we're having V8s back.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So, news time. First news item, Sergio Perez. You're probably going, what's up with Sergio Perez?
Besides his derp face.
There are rumours abound that Red Bull are about to tear up the new contract that he signed. And that
don't say.
And he's going to be dumped. He might be even dumped down to V-Carb before the end of the season. And
I wouldn't be fucking... Honestly, I wouldn't I wouldn't be waiting.
And you're probably going, who's going to get that seat?
Can't be Danny Rick, surely.
Yep, Danny Rick.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because Liam Lawson doesn't have enough ring time to jump straight into the Red Bull.
Yeah.
And Yuki Tsunoda, they just don't have enough faith in him because of his aggression.
Yeah.
And how angry he gets.
We've said that.
They're just like, nah, he's, he might be getting calmer, but we're not going to put up with staff getting abused over the radio because of his fuck-ups.
Yeah.
Which then leads to the question then, if he's that much of a volatile person, why'd you fucking sign him? Again?
He can pull out a performance when he wants to.
Yeah, but I just don't think he's Red Bull material, to be honest.
Well, he's got to prove it.
Yeah.
That's on him. That's not on Red Bull.
But, they might be dumping Perez down to V-Carb.
No, I'm not surprised. He's driving as I just fucking said, he's driving like a test driver.
And
so dump him. If you want to drive out there like you're gathering data, fucking go gather data in the V-Carb.
Yeah.
Let someone who's going to have a crack at fucking points.
And I reckon,
someone who can actually finish in the top 5, which isn't you at the moment.
And I reckon if you put Danny Rick in that car, you'll see the old Danny Rick back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a second chance. Because he wasn't getting this fucking chance.
No.
If Sergio was even driving to just an acceptable level, Danny wouldn't get that chance.
No.
But Sergio Perez is driving so shit at the moment that he's handed Daniel Ricciardo a Bradbury second chance at the Red Bull seat that he wasn't fucking getting.
Yeah.
All Sergio had to do was just drive at 80%.
Yeah.
Just finish in the top. You don't have to win races. You don't even have to get on the podium. Top 5 it. What's the best result of Sergio's last 5 races? 8th, I think?
Yeah.
He hasn't been on the podium this year, has he?
Yeah, he has, but only a couple of times.
Yeah. When's the last time he's even close to a podium? I think he might have got a 4th place not long ago. But he didn't top 10 here. He didn't top... I think he got 8th at Spielberg.
Yeah.
He hasn't been anywhere near the podium for the last 5 races.
Yeah, but he's not even getting out of Q1.
Yeah. He's bottom half of the top 10.
When your teammate is the championship leader and you can't even get out of Q1, there's something wrong. And I don't think it's the car.
It's not the car.
I think he's just run out of talent.
Yeah, well, look, it's going to cost him.
But if the rumours are true, then Daniel Rick he's just handed Danny Rick a lifeline.
He has.
And
it's all it's all on him.
Yeah.
It's all on him. He could have kept that seat. All he had to do was drive to his potential, and he's just not.
Yeah, you know what he is? He's gotten the ball, it's state of origin, and he's showboated too much and just fumbled it all over the fucking floor.
For the world to see.
For the world to see.
Yep.
He's got no one to blame other than himself. And if he loses the seat and they tear up his contract...
He's done the Ben Hunt drop from the 2015 Grand Final.
Yeah.
He's just dropped it in front of everyone, shat the bed, lost his fucking spot, done.
Yeah.
It's going to cost him.
His only hope then is maybe Haas will pick him up.
When's the next race, Hungary?
Yeah, 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and then the summer break.
No, then you got Spa.
Oh, and then the summer break after Spa.
Yeah. That's weird.
It is weird. Spa's always the comeback race.
Yeah, because it's always getting rained out or washed out or something.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know. I don't know what saves Checo now. 2 race wins.
Yeah.
Go and win Hungary and go and win Spa, and you might save your seat because, it's...
Other than
they
that...
might not even wait until the summer break.
I think they've given him till the summer break.
I'd be making sure Danny Rick's up to speed in that simulator during the summer break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bump him up for FP1 in a couple of the races. Free practice 1, get him in the Red Bull.
I don't think you can do that.
Can't you?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Oh.
You can send a reserve driver up there, but you can't send someone who's driving. Oh,
well, he is
maybe.
the Red Bull reserve driver, driving for V-Carb.
Yeah, no, maybe you can. I think that's happened. No, that's happened before. Because George Russell went and drove the Mercedes when Lewis fucked his back.
Yeah.
And then George Russell went and drove the Mercedes when he was still driving for Williams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, it is possible.
Yeah. But, so Sergio Perez is not doing himself any favours.
No.
He should stop smiling like a smug motherfucker in his
smiling like it's a primary school fucking photo day. My God.
All right, next news item. So Ferrari head of chassis design, technical director of chassis area, Enrico Cardile, has announced that he is leaving the team, the company. He has taken up the appointment of Chief Technical Director at Aston Martin.
Right.
And filling in the head of chassis area will be Fred Vasseur. Team principal, Uncle Fred, is taking over.
Just taking the bull by the horns himself.
He's just slamming down the visor, just going, fuck it. Overtaking, Kushmini on the outside of corners, in the wet, at Silverstone.
Yep. He's back. He's back to his prime.
Good on him. Good on him.
Hey, that's a hands-on approach. I don't see Zach Brown picking up the tools.
No.
Well, I'm sure he does.
Or Toto Wolff.
I'm sure he does, but I'm sure Toto does too.
I don't think Toto Wolff picks up the tools. Yeah. But you know what this leads me to? I have a sneaking suspicion Cardile knew he wasn't going to go any further. Got offered this position. And I mean, Cardile has been at Ferrari for 2 decades.
Yeah.
So I don't think he feels like he can go any further. He's going to Aston Martin because they've offered him a higher position. I think that Fred Vasseur's filling in until the current head of aero becomes the head of chassis, and then they get a new head of aero. Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
I think the deal is done. I think Ferrari have got Adrian Newey.
They haven't announced it yet, but that
it lines up.
The pieces fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
probably is it.
And it will be an absolute sort of dream team of Ferrari, hotshot Charles Leclerc, statistically the greatest of all time, Lewis Hamilton, as much as I fucking hate to say that.
Statistically the greatest of all time. Not the greatest drivers of all time.
Yeah. One of the best team principals on the grid at the moment in Fred Vasseur, who's making all the right moves.
Is Bono going with Lewis?
Don't know. There was a rumour that he was, but I don't think he is now.
I don't know. The way they acted at Silverstone makes me think maybe they won't.
Yeah. And if they've got Adrian Newey, they've got the greatest car designer of the last 40 years.
That's a hell of a team.
That is a hell of a team.
If you can make it work.
I think they can make it work. You got Uncle Fred in charge. He will make it work.
Fred, Lewis, Adrian Newey.
Charles Leclerc.
I'd be surprised if Bono doesn't go, but just the way they're acting at Silverstone. I mean, I know it's been a long time since his last win, but it makes me think maybe Bono's not going to go with Lewis.
Yeah.
Don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. But that's my take on the entire situation.
Yes.
So good on him,
Yeah.
Yeah. There was actually a point I was trying to remember. I had it in my head, and I'm sitting there stalling for time so I can remember it. But
the point that he's going to make way for Adrian Newey.
That's right. This is my point. Here we go. Here's a question for you. Okay, I'm not going to put the picture up or anything like that. This is completely... You notice how the Red Bull isn't quite as dominant as what it was at the start of the year.
It's very noticeable now that it's not as dominant, even in the hands of Max Verstappen.
Do you think that's because Adrian Newey is no longer working on the car?
Yes, but they would have had developments there already.
Yeah.
I just honestly think they've been caught, finally.
Because, you got the second best guy on the grid in James Allison working on that Mercedes.
Yep.
You've got the team of guys at McLaren, which were all young and up-and-coming guys.
can't make a strategy call to save their lives, but okay.
Yeah, but that's the Ferrari way too. So you get used to it after a while. There's a lot of factors that seem to be weighing on Red Bull coming down the totem pole. I mean, they're not off the totem pole, but they're a couple of rungs down from where they were.
I can't see how Red Bull have stopped development.
No, but if you don't have Adrian Newey overseeing it, then...
Not every upgrade on that car is aero-based.
True.
But it does...
It lines up.
It does line up as to why the car's gone from winning races by 30 seconds to being the...
Second on the podium.
Second or third fastest car on the grid.
Yeah. But that's a theory. That's a theory.
Oh, it is a theory. It's a sound one.
Yeah. Final news item is the trailer has dropped for the new movie called F1 with Brad Pitt.
Driven 2 looks pretty fantastic, I'm not going to lie. Would have liked to have seen Sylvester Stallone reprise his role, but here we go. Can't wait for the street race scene.
Yeah, it was
going to be epic.
Great with Sylvester Stallone versus Chris Hemsworth. It would have been great. Rewrite history so that James Hunter's still alive. No, I actually quite like the trailer. It doesn't give anything away about the plot.
I don't think there's going to be much of a plot.
It's apparently it's about a struggling F1 team, and Brad Pitt is an aging F1 driver who's trying to sort of do what Stallone did in Driven and teach this young kid how to be an F1 driver. Except the fact that every other car on the grid is an F1 car and they're driving an F2 car.
Yeah.
But we'll ignore that oversight.
And the only track they seem to have filmed on is Silverstone.
No, they filmed on a few.
Actually, no, I did see another track. I can't remember which one it was now. 90% of the shots.
Actually, I think there was shots in there that looked like they were from Melbourne Park.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure
Albert Park.
I'm sure they filmed it a few.
Yeah.
Look, it looks alright.
But even they filmed a few scenes in the press pit.
Yes.
Because there's drivers in the background and they're doing fake interviews in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was Silverstone last year.
Yeah.
Where that was FP1.
Yeah.
Where they sent those cars out on track and they did all their filming for it. No, it does look good.
There is one shot where the car is going through Eau Rouge.
Yes.
That was actually filmed on Pierre Gasly's Alpine, and they've digitally put the...
They've digitally sped it up because it would be so fucking slow.
No, they digitally put their car over the top of the Alpine.
That's why the shots are like. That's why there's 20 Formula 1 cars in front of it. We need a back shot of all 20 cars. Yeah, I better put it on the Alpine.
But they put, because they had the regular camera for the TV broadcast, and then they put a 4K camera on the side of the side pod.
Yeah, I got to tell you, those the shots from the car look really good.
Well, it's the guy who's directing the movie is the guy who did Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's going to look sweet.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, look, I'm keen for it. I mean, historically, I feel like it's jumping on a fucking trend now. Like, F1's the new hot thing in social media land. And now they're just trying to come... And you can thank Liberty Media for that.
Yep. But I think the only problem I've got with this movie is actually the title. F1. I don't like it.
It's literally the F1 logo?
Yeah, it's literally the F1 logo.
It's just Formula 1. It's like, oh, okay.
They could have called it, I don't know, Driven 2.
They could have called it Driven 2. They missed the opportunity.
Or Driven 2 F1.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. We fixed it for you.
Yeah. You could pay us royalties for that.
But that comes out, I think, July next year.
Oh, wow. So it's still a whole year away.
Yeah.
More time to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should release it in August during the summer break.
Yeah, give us something to watch.
Yeah, so all the drivers can go and see it.
They'll release it at like the Monaco Film Festival or something like that.
Oh yeah, Palme d'Or and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what? Yeah, July. No, that's probably... That's about this time next year.
Yeah.
They could release it for the summer break.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it looks pretty good. And, you know, it's got that level of realism that Top Gun Maverick had.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
That's it. I don't want bullshit.
Yeah.
Like Rush.
Driven.
Or Driven.
Or,
If you're going to have digitally altered PlayStation 1 graphics crashes, I'm there for it.
or the worst of the bunch, Torque.
Talk was fucking brilliant. I don't know what you're talking about. Talk was an amazing movie.
Or just any of the Fast and Furious movies after 3.
After 5. 5 was good.
Oh, fuck off. 4
was kind of dodge, but 5 was good.
4 was only good because they got the original cast back.
Yeah.
After that, it was just dodge.
5 was alright.
3 was the last good one.
5 was the last good one.
3.
Anyway.
Yeah. Right. So.
Keep the realism there, but, you know, if you want to be sponsored by PlayStation 2 and then have PS2 graphics as you crash, CGI.
Driven.
I'm there for it. I feel like I want to go watch Driven again now.
You know what? I'm going to try and find it on Blu-ray.
I just want to watch it just for the fucking PlayStation 2 graphics.
Hey,
crash.
look, I sat there and watched Ballistic X versus Sever. I can find it and fucking review it too on my review
I
page.
guarantee you Driven's got better Rotten Tomatoes ratings.
Ballistic X versus Sever has got 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I guarantee you Driven's got at least 3. Maybe 4.
The only things I remember of Driven are driving Indy cars through the streets.
Yeah, ripping the fucking manhole covers off.
Yeah. And blowing that chick's skirt up and blowing all the magazine stand away.
No, I remember the PS2 graphics CGI crash.
Oh, where everyone's driving at speed except for the car that's in orbit.
Yeah.
It's running on Virtua Fighter gravity.
Yeah, and it's like really shit. Like it looks like it looks like Gran Turismo. Look like PlayStation 2 Gran Turismo. They've just got like a freeze frame of it. And then they're running like a movie clip under it. And then he lands in the fucking lake.
Yep.
On the inside of the track and nearly drowns. How the fuck did you get from there to there?
Why have they got a lake in the middle of the fucking track?
Some tracks do. Fucking, that's like crashing at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve and landing in the fucking rowing lake. Logan Sargent, you're up. We need to get Nikita Mazepin back and try and fucking replicate that, because...
And, what's his name? Latifi.
We'll get Latifi to go one way.
Crash of Champions.
We'll get Latifi to go one way. We'll get Nikita Mazepin to go the other way. And we'll recreate the fucking crash, and one of you can flip into the fucking rowing lake.
And die.
Yeah, we won't pull you out. Sylvester Stallone won't be running across to save you or whatever the fuck it was.
He wasn't in that bit.
I can't remember. I vaguely remember.
Because Burt Reynolds' character, who clearly was an American piss take on Frank Williams because he was in a fucking wheelchair, he had dumped Stallone for that race and put the Mexican guy back in. And the Mexican guy was the guy who got launched into fucking orbit because he ignored team orders. Ended up in the lake. And Bo Brandenburg and the main guy, because Bo Brandenburg was supposed to be the villain. He was the German driver that was kicking everyone's ass. And then there was the main American dude, whose brother was the guy who played House's best friend in House. And they stopped, drove backwards on the track, so immediately black flag. Disqualified. Showed up and pulled him out of the lake that was filling up with petrol mixed in with water. Because they thought it was going to burn.
Didn't it explode anyway?
Yeah, it did explode. Yeah, after they got him out.
Fucking yes.
The only other thing I remember about that movie was the main chick in it, who was she started off as Bo Brandenburg's girlfriend, then she went to the main guy, then by the end she went back to Bo Brandenburg. The reason I remember her is because she was like the number 2 ranked Canadian synchronized swimmer.
Wow.
So the scene where she's in the pool and she's doing the swimming routine
is her.
Is actually her.
Yeah, right.
But she only did like 4 movies and then that was it. And if you watch the movie with the commentary, there's a scene where she's supposed to do an emotional speech to the main hero guy. No, to Bo Brandenburg. supposed to do a speech to him, and she wasn't getting enough emotion in the scene. So the director actually abused the shit out of her in front of everyone and got her to cry in front of everyone. Like, absolutely ripped her a new one, said that she was useless and incompetent and shouldn't be acting and all this stuff. And then she did the scene, and then he went up and apologized to her and said, look, I just needed to do that so I could get this out of you. But yeah.
That's how you do it. Method acting, ladies and gentlemen.
Because the next movie she did was Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg.
Oof.
And then she didn't do
From
anything.
From fucking heights to heights, huh?
Yeah, it's just...
What a glittering career.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
The Mark Genet of no, Luca Bedoya of fucking acting.
Just fucking spellbinding.
Yeah,
Don't worry, I'm sure your Oscar's in the mail.
Yeah, she's no Kim
It's
director.
been shipped with Australia Post in your fucking package.
Yeah, you'll just get the fucking label. Oh, God. Yeah, she's no Kim director, that's for sure. Right, so moving on to driver standings. So, driver standings at the end of the British GP.
British.
Yeah, the reason why the Brits say British is because they've drank all the tea. Coming in first place is Max Verstappen with 255 points. Second place is Lando Norris on 171. Third place is Charles Leclerc with 150. Fourth place is Carlos Sainz with 146. Fifth place is Oscar Piastri, who's got 124 points. Sixth place, dropping down the charts, is Sergio Perez with 118 points. Seventh place is George Russell with 111 points. Eighth place, right behind him, is his teammate Lewis Hamilton with 110 points. Ninth place is Fernando Alonso on 45 points. And bumping up 2 places to be in the top 10 is Lance Stroll with 23 points.
Cap My Eyebrows is back.
He's back in the top 10. And the team standings. Leading the constructors is Red Bull Racing with 373 points. Ferrari is still in second place, but they look like they're going to lose it soon with 302 points. Third place is McLaren with 295 points. Fourth place is Mercedes with 221 points.
They have closed that gap.
Yeah.
That gap was over 100 points for a lot of this year. And in 2 races, they're within striking distance now.
Yep. Hasn't been great since Monaco. Fifth place is Aston Martin with 68 points. Sixth place is Racing Bull with 31 points. Seventh place, closing up the gap to RB, is Haas with 27 points.
They're coming.
They're coming for you, my Negro. Eighth place is Alpine with 9 points. Ninth place is Williams with 4 points.
Woo!
And 10th place is Kicksauber with Zut. Right. So that was the British F1.
Yes, it was a good weekend.
And if you want to know more about it, you can listen to us on the YouTube, care of F1 Chat -1, or care of Vindicator 18 channel on the F1 Chat. Facebook, the F1 Chat. X, the F1 Chat 1. Don't forget the 1.
Don't forget the Juan.
Rumble, the F1 Chat.
Yes.
And Spotify, the F1 Chat.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to be back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
With Hungary.
Yeah, well, if it is 2 weeks, I'll be finishing night shift, so I actually might be here for the podcast.
Sweet.
Possibly. We'll see.
And then the week after that is Spa. And then we're on the summer break.
There you go.
So it's a busy old time.
It is a busy old time.
But, yeah, we got a couple of races, then
Bit of a break.
Bit of a break, yeah. Probably get an episode of Stop the Damn Match in there, finally, because we haven't done one since WrestleMania.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Bit of a shameless plug for the other show there.
Yeah, check that one out on Vindicator 18 channel as well.
And it is up on Spotify.
Yeah, Stop the Damn Match.
Yeah, a couple episodes, yeah.
If you like your men in spandex.
Pretending to hurt each other.
If you like meat slapping meat, as Vincent Kennedy McMahon once said. What a
Look
way
at
to
all
sell
this
the, what a way
beef,
to
pal.
what a way to sell the product.
Yep. Thank God he's not in there anymore. So that's a shameless plug for the other show, shameless plug for this show.
Johnny Sinus is going fucking nuclear.
Yep, it's great.
I haven't missed that, and I'm sure you guys haven't missed that either, so
Yeah.
I'll be sure to fix that for next episode.
But in the meantime, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my version of the F2 report.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed me sniffling and sneezing down your ear holes for the last, however long it's been, hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in. We will see you in 2 weeks. Until then, it is goodbye.